Welcome, and thank you for joining me for this talk about what lies ahead for e-commerce brands. I'm Mike Austin, CEO and co-founder of Fresh Relevance. Fresh Relevance is a versatile personalization and decision engine. We make decisions based on AI or on rules you configure, and we personalize all of your marketing touch points and e-commerce touch points, such as the website, e-commerce platform, email, mobile apps, and other channels. And we integrate with your existing marketing stack and your other types of tech in your business. And we can be used across multiple teams. So your marketing team, your e-com team, CRM team, test and optimization, and so forth. And we're used by hundreds of clients across the UK, Northern Europe, and North America. So let's look at 3 key success factors in 2021 and beyond. Taking a wide view, as marketing tech providers, this is roughly how we fit in. We work with you, the retailer, and personalized messages sent to customers and the web pages that they visit. As we all know, 2020 was exceptionally challenging with store closures and huge turbulence in the economy. We've also seen the continuing rise in privacy restrictions like GDPR, CCPA, and the start of limitations on cookies, particularly third-party cookies. But also there's been a huge surge in demand for e-commerce as consumers have moved online at unprecedented speed. So what steps can retailers take to capitalize on these changes? So the first success factor is customer retention in the face of ever-increasing competition. The number of e-commerce users globally jumped by 9.5% year-on-year during the coronavirus outbreak and reached more than 3.4 billion people in 2020. And this trend is set to continue this year, with the figure growing by around 10% year-on-year to 3.8 billion people. And the e-commerce market's revenues jumped by 25% year-on-year to $2.4 trillion in 2020. Stats show that global e-commerce revenues are set to reach over $2.7 trillion in 2021. Brands invested heavily in e-commerce in 2020 in order to compensate for the revenue loss through the closure of non-essential retail and hospitality businesses. This resulted in online competition being at an all-time high. And for many brands, going D2C also offered the unique opportunity to build a direct relationship with their customers and get access to more customer data. Just some examples: Bacardi, Lindt, Brewdog, Heinz, and PepsiCo. And the level of brands switching doubled in 2020 compared to 2019. Incredible figures there. Amidst this ever-expanding pool of competitors, retaining loyal customers has never been more important. So we worked with Censuswide in January 2021 and polled 2,000 consumers in the UK. Through our research, we discovered the 3 C's of customer loyalty: convenience, communications, and customer incentives. In the next few minutes, I'm going to share our key insights into what consumers want and don't want from the customer experience, how they want to hear from brands, and what communications they want to receive, and the incentives they expect in return for their loyalty. Firstly, convenience at the consideration stage. So how do we replicate the in-store experience online? Here are some key takeaways. People want online stores that are easy to navigate. They want information on when sold out items will be restocked. They want product ratings and reviews. And they say a frustrating website experience hurts their opinion of the brand. So what can you do about this? We'd suggest use dynamic content tailored to a shopper's current behavior and purchase history. And that makes it easy to provide a positive user experience that resonates with them. Next, convenience at the decision and transaction stage. Here are some key takeaways. So people want spending thresholds that unlock incentives highlighting. They want cut-off dates highlighting. They want complementing product recommendations. And they want it to be easy for them to return to an abandoned session. So consumers appreciate e-commerce marketing tactics that make it easy for them to purchase the product they want, and they expect transparency when it comes to price and time of delivery. And dynamic content and triggered emails based on browse and cart abandonment data are effective ways to achieve this, as are things like social proof highlights on the website. Next, communications. How do we respect customer preferences? So relevance and customer preferences are key and increasing importance in this age of data protection legislation and increasing awareness from consumers. Here are some key takeaways. So people want to have control over the type and frequency of emails they receive. And they find it frustrating if an online retailer ignores the zero-party data they provided. So you should respect customer preferences and make sure that if you ask customers for information, that one, you really need it, and two, you'll actually use it. Communications. Relevance is key. So here are some key takeaways. People are frustrated by offers that are no longer available when they click through. People won't buy again if they receive daily emails without irrelevant information. And they don't care if an online retailer calls them by their name. They want emails personalized based on customer data. So the one-size-fits-all approach doesn't cut it anymore. Personalization needs to deliver value to the customer rather than being a gimmick or showing off what you know about the customer. That can just be creepy. So customer loyalty, and how do you foster it? Here are some key takeaways from our research. So people, regardless of age, want early access to sales or limited edition. Young people particularly want invitations to exclusive in-store or online events, but over 55s don't care so much. And young people want complimentary services, but again, over 55s don't really care. So, take your own pick on that. Maybe silver surfers want exclusive deals, but Gen Z care about events and complimentary stuff. So the second success factor is responding to headcount and budget cuts through increased collaboration. So the pandemic sent shockwaves through the whole industry in 2020. And my main surprise of these figures was that the total annual retail sales were only 0.3% down. But I think that largely reflects the fact that so much bricks and mortar sales actually went across to online. Global ad spend was down 10%. And retail jobs, showing the chaos in the high street, were down by 176,000 jobs over the year. So you have to do more with less, and the budget needs to work harder. So let's look at silos. What is a silo? So if a company is operating in silos, it means its teams don't work together and collaborate. This could stem from a deliberate reluctance to share information and knowledge, but more often than not, teams unknowingly slip into silos through inefficient processes, fragmented tech stacks, and lack of communication. Do these silos sound familiar? Marketing tactics such as data capture and the use of overlays may meet marketing goals of increased subscriber rates, but they can also be a source of conflict with e-commerce, who are less concerned with database growth and often perceive such tactics as detracting from the customer experience. Whereas the CRM team tends to have a plethora of data at their fingertips. Merchandising team would benefit from these customer and product trends, but unfortunately merchandising rarely has access to that level of detail. So we have an incredible opportunity to drive efficiency through collaboration. It's common for certain tactics to be closely guarded by specific teams, each team member too busy and engrossed in their tasks to spot areas for collaboration. But to succeed amidst budget cuts, smaller teams and a crowded e-commerce landscape, businesses must identify collaborative opportunities. And here are a couple of opportunities for collaboration to get you started. So product recs have applications in multiple teams, but they have a different focus to each team. So marketing may be interested in appealing to visitors from paid ads. The e-commerce team may want to increase basket value. CRM want to focus on long-term value. Now, these goals aren't mutually exclusive, but it's much easier for the teams to work together if they're working with a single platform. And another example, data capture. It's a key marketing tactic for email database growth, but The e-commerce team probably don't want it affecting the conversion path, so an appropriate and controllable targeting strategy is vital. The testing and optimization team want to be able to test data capture approaches and optimize for business goal metrics. Again, all these teams can work together to maximize data capture efficiency for the business without adversely affecting their team's individual goal. Customers have come to expect a seamless, tailored experience that delights them at every turn and makes the purchase process easy. When teams don't collaborate, the customer experience can appear disjointed and clunky, with a lack of cohesion that causes customers to turn to competitors for their shopping needs. But with effective collaboration across tactics, businesses can map out cross-channel, conversion-boosting customer journeys that enhance the customer experience. So, how do you encourage efficient collaboration? Step 1. Think about who owns the tactics the different teams can benefit from and reach out to them to encourage knowledge sharing, making sure the relevant teams are included. Step 2. Do you own the concept of the customer journey in your business? Use the customer journey template to coordinate tactics between teams. Step 3. Review your tech stack to ensure you have the tools you need to collaborate effectively. With a versatile personalization and decision engine like freshrelevance, you have the tools to collaborate on personalized cross-channel customer journeys that enhance the customer experience and boost conversions. On to the third success factor, personalization in the wake of the cookie apocalypse. As consumers demand more choice, transparency, and control over how their data is used for commercial and advertising purposes, the leading browsers have responded by increasingly restricting and blocking the use of cookies. Now the race is on among Firefox, Safari, and Chrome to become the most privacy-friendly browser. And super cookies, which are used by some personalization solutions, but not us, will no longer work. With a market share of 65%, Chrome's 2022 third-party cookie phase-out deadline is approaching fast and can't be ignored. So it's crucial to ensure your personalization solution is up to the task. With increasingly disparate data sources, growing consumer concerns over privacy, and the so-called cookie apocalypse on the horizon, businesses need to ensure any personalization software they implement will help them future-proof their identity strategies in order to continue reaping the benefits of personalization. And almost half of companies say they're not ready for the cookie landscape to change. So 3 questions to ask your personalization provider. What data does your platform use to personalize the customer experience? Does your platform offer personification as well as personalization? Does your platform allow both client-side and server-side personalization? Let's look at types of data. So zero-party data is the information a customer provides freely and explicitly to a company. First-party data is customer data, including behaviors, actions, and interests, collected on your proprietary domains. Second-party data is data specifically gathered by business partners with contracted data sharing agreements where the consumers are fully aware that their data will be shared and have given free and specific consent. And finally, third-party data, aggregated data collected from multiple sources, which is then packaged and sold, typically via a data exchange. So we'd recommend you look for a solution that uses a combination of zero-party and first-party data to power your personalization and steer clear of solutions that rely on third-party data. And freshrelevance permits you to load second-party data into the system via the same import mechanisms as are available for first-party data, and we don't use third-party data at all. So personalization will be familiar to most of you. We serve one-to-one personalized content. But you may not be aware that freshrelevance also enables personification. Personification doesn't require an identified user since it relies on contextual data, such as the shopper's location, to customize content, tailor product recommendations, and more. We use advanced AI techniques to personify the experience of visitors who have not yet been identified, even on the landing page and before they click anything. Fresh Relevance works well with anonymous sessions, and all behavioral and contextual information can be used without needing the identity of the shopper. This approach works with and without persistent cookies. With persistent cookies, you get the added ability to personify based on the visitor's previous sessions. Hence, you can pick up more information and preferences as they browse pages on the site or take other actions, but still without needing the business identity. Excuse me. The pros of personification is it allows businesses to deliver relevant digital experiences based on the analysis of billions of customer journeys rather than based on the shopper's personal identity. It works well on the first page visited by a new shopper, zero-click personalization. It works well for shoppers who have withheld consent for permanent cookies, where there's no identity, so conventional personalization can't be used. And it is respectful of consumers' expectation of privacy, which, regardless of the legal position, is particularly important for ethically aware brands. So what's the ideal approach? So Fresh Relevance enables personification and personalization. Our clients can use contextual data, such as the shopper's location and date and time, to customize content, tailor product recommendations, and more. Fresh Relevance makes use of AI to power functionalities such as our price affinity predictor, a tool that allows clients to identify the desired price point for new visitors who have not interacted with the website yet, and to display relevant product recommendations using those insights. And we work well with anonymous sessions, and all behavioral and contextual data can be used without needing the identity of the shopper. Client-side testing and personalization is the most common approach used by personalization platforms. And the fact that it's easy to implement and use means it's a valuable solution and the normal starting point for clients using personalization. But as the web evolves, many businesses are making use of the server-side approach to reap the benefits of not being affected by cookie blockers and to be able to change the page structure. So we'd recommend you look for a personalization platform that can offer a hybrid approach to reap the benefits of both client-side and server-side. And we support both, allowing our clients to use either depending on their needs, resources, and business goals. For example, our clients could use a client-side approach for initial testing via front-end personalization because it's easy to change, quick to iterate, and agile. Then, once they know which personalized experience performs best, they could switch to a server-side approach for faster loading of personalized content and optimal SEO. Let's summarize the success factors. So it should offer a convenient online experience to drive customer loyalty. Avoid alienating customers with irrelevant marketing. Break down silos between teams to increase efficiency. Respect consumers' demands for more choice, transparency, and control over their data. And opt for future-proof marketing solutions that run on transparent data sources and will integrate and play nicely with each other. So next up, Daisy will be showing you the platform in action. Thank you very much for listening.